be broken. It's okay to laugh and cry. 'Cause when you try to see the problem, that needs to figure it out. And you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking not ready, but I'm telling you, baby, yeah, get up and get out. Get up and get out. Yeah, and you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking not ready, but I'm telling you, baby. And you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking already.
And now it's time to get unmasked. Please welcome your host, Pamela Elaine Nichols and Cheryl A.S. Haley.
Welcome, everyone, to Feel Better, Look Better, Live Better, formerly called Unmasked Real Talk Live. This is a place where we live true to the quote by Dr. Sigmund Freud: unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. Each week, we aim to give you permission to unmask here so you can be inspired to feel better, look better, and live better out there. Before I go on, I want to make sure I give my co-host a chance to say hello. Well, she's a host. I'm the co-host. To say hello, Cheryl.
Hello, everyone. Again, it's so awesome to be with you on this Tuesday afternoon. So we want you to sit back because we have a surprise for you on today. But again, greetings.
Yeah, we do. I'm so excited. Okay, so stay until the end to be eligible for a special raffle. Today's raffle is a $25 gift card. Yes, just for you to use. So I'm so excited about this one. This is the first time we're doing a gift card, so we hope it goes off well. So to the previous winners of raffles, listen, if you have not received your gift, or if you have not redeemed your gift, like some of you, I believe, have a special session with Cheryl and me, please send us a message. I didn't get my gift, or please send us a message. I'm ready to redeem the gift that you offered. So we want to make sure we fulfill on all of the raffle prizes that we offer. Now, something new. Each week, we are going to do a challenge based on the topic of today's show. So today's show, next week's show will be different. It'll be another challenge, okay? The challenge starts Wednesday, that's tomorrow, and ends Tuesday, which is the day of the show. That's 7 days. We want you to participate by sharing your experience with the challenge in our private Facebook group, right here in our private Facebook group. This week's challenge, are you ready? This week's challenge is to improve your mental health, okay? Now, for the next 7 days, each morning, before you get out of bed, before your feet hit the floor, before you take care of another person or another thing, we want you to spend 5 minutes doing something to improve your mental health. For example, you might take 5 minutes to read an inspirational quote. You may take 5 minutes to YouTube an inspirational message. Just don't go on social media. Like, don't do Facebook. My inspiration's on Facebook. No, it's not. Not the first thing in the morning. Or take 5 minutes to meditate, pray, listen to an inspirational song, or even sing an inspirational song. Maybe write down 5 things you're grateful for in a journal. Tell yourself some 5 positive affirmations, or anything you think will help you feel better. 5 minutes. Then share that in the group and tell us how it made you feel. Okay. So we want everybody to participate in this challenge. We promise you will feel so better just in starting your day. Okay. So now also post your comments today in the group as we unmask and ask your questions so we can address them towards the end. Now, our special guest. We
Yeah.
have a special guest today, ladies. And our special guest is Danielle Bullock, who
Hi,
is joining
ladies.
us for Unmasked Live.
Yes.
Yay!
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Oh,
Danielle. We
yay,
are
yay, yay.
so excited that you're with us on today. Now, we're going to introduce today's topic. And we told you last week that it was a surprise topic. Well, guess what the topic is? It's okay not to be okay. And last
Mm.
week, Danielle was a recipient of our raffle prize, which was to come on the show with us live. So she's here with us today. And not only is she here, we allowed her to select the topic. So that's the topic that we're going to talk about. Now, there's a quote by Lori Desheen that says, "You don't have to be positive all the time. It's
Mhm.
perfectly okay to feel sad, angry, annoyed, frustrated, scared, and anxious." How many of us know that? Having feelings doesn't make you a negative person, it makes you human. Wow. That's so
Absolutely.
Love that.
powerful. Yeah, absolutely. It makes
Powerful
you
statement.
human. Yes, it really is. It really is. So, in celebration of Mental Health Awareness Month, our winner, Danielle Bullock, she is going to talk to us about our topic. It's okay not to be okay. So, we have some questions because when Pam and I get people in our space, we are known to be very inquisitive and ask questions. So, we have some questions that we'd like to ask Danielle about the celebration of Mental Health Awareness Month. Now,
Mhm.
Danielle, what does it mean when you say it's okay not to be okay? Talk to us about.
Um, for me, saying it's okay not to be okay. I'm a big avid for mental health, being though I suffered from depression and anxiety at different points in my life. So it's okay not to be okay. But the key is
Mm,
to make sure that you get help. And
Yeah.
remember,
mm,
help is available.
Yes, yes. And one of the things is we talked about our quote by Sigmund Freud that we talk about unexpressed emotions. And we say this is where we unmask and we get raw. We can be ugly in here, then we
Mhm.
can be beautiful out there. I dare not give the intention or the meaning that having a challenge with our mental health at times is an ugly thing. But I applaud you, Danielle, for taking ownership and responsibility to
mm.
say, I have struggled with because sometimes people
Absolutely.
find that hard to say. I've struggled with it as well. So I
Yes.
appreciate and applaud you for saying that. But now I want to ask you, why did you choose this topic? Pam and I want to know, why did you choose this
Well,
topic?
once again, because of my own struggles with mental health, I think so many of us suffer in silence. I
Mm,
can definitely say that I've been in spaces where I came up as a dressed up mess. Nobody knew
Mm,
the struggles that was really going through. So I challenge, everyone to do the work, do the research, get the help. Help is available. So that's why I chose mental health. It's very important, it's very key. Because if you're not mentally together, you can't function. And it shows up in different aspects in your life.
yeah.
mm. Are you willing to share like how it showed up for you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I say for different reasons, relationships, thinking I wasn't worthy,
Mm,
the bag lady syndrome, doing so much and running myself ragged and putting
mhm,
myself in bad spaces. And I can honestly say that I know that I can carry my Bible and seek a counselor and get that help. So I just want to
mm.
encourage people that it's help available. We really have to um erase the stigma behind wanting to get help for mental health.
Yeah.
Mhm, mm. I know we have some other questions to ask you, but but I'm curious about this part. How long did you suffer before you got help?
Oh, I want to say I probably suffered for years before I actually got the help. I think I was at, how I was in a space where I felt like I couldn't get myself together. People say pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Well, if it was that
Mhm,
easy, it would be done. It just
mm,
happened that I was really in a bad space, reached out to the mental health portion of my insurance. met with a counselor. I was going to a counselor and medication as well. I've been to a time where I've just done counselor or just done medication. Whatever you need to get well is key that you do it.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. What made you decide, okay, I've suffered long enough, I'm going to get some help? Like, what was the turning point, or what was the straw that broke the camel's back for you?
I think for me that I was in a space that I couldn't get myself out of.
Mm.
I just felt
Oh.
in a bad space, and I had a young child, and to be present for my daughter, I needed to be present for myself. So
Mm.
I can't take care of anybody else. You can't pour from an empty water pot. If my pot is empty, I can't be who I needed to be for my child if I didn't take care of my own health.
Mm, mhm,
Wow, wow. Someone put in the chat, pride is big, not wanting to admitting it. Wow.
mhm.
And the topic in itself, that it's okay not to be okay,
Mhm.
gives people permission to recognize that I can acknowledge it and I can admit it. And I
Absolutely.
so yeah, and I so appreciate your sharing how you needed to do that for yourself in order to be there for your daughter.
Absolutely. It's key.
Yeah. And would you say, Danielle, that when you think about that and you share that sometimes people think about the impact that it is on them, not realizing the impact it has on those around them and those that they love.
Right, right. You know what I think for as mental health, I think I can speak solely for myself. I think when you can used to showing up in places where you can dress yourself up so nobody can see it, it makes it so easy that if you really don't have a great relationship, or I could just you don't know me as I just think I don't know where I really want. I think that we are afraid. We're
Mhm.
afraid to be honest about it, and it's okay not to be okay. That's why I picked that topic. I want everyone to know that it's okay not to be okay. There are
Yes,
clinicians, there are therapists, there's help available. Talk to
yes,
someone to get some help. It's
yes.
very
Mhm,
key. I
Mhm,
don't want,
mhm,
that's why people commit suicide and, you
mhm,
know, mental health is I just think it's very important to me. It's
mhm.
it's key.
Yeah, yeah.
mm, mm,
As you share, we could feel your emotion
Yes,
with it. I can
absolutely.
feel it, and it's
Mhm.
so important. But the things that we go through in life, think are not strange. That those are the very things that we use to advocate for others. So your
Mhm.
transparency and your openness and your willingness to share, I feel your heart, my sister. I
Yes.
feel your heart.
mhm.
Yes.
Well, we have some two other questions we want to ask
Okay.
you. The next one I want to ask you is, what do you think is most important for people to know about mental health? Because we could put the term out there and people might appear to know, but what do you think is most important for people to know about mental health?
For mental health, it affects everyone at
Mm,
different stages and places in life. But I think most importantly, I want people to know help is available.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Did you feel any did you feel some sort of way when you first went after help? Did you feel a little embarrassed? Did you want to keep it quiet? Did you feel ashamed? Anything? Or were you like, I'm going. I'm
No,
good.
I definitely felt once again like embarrassed, like, oh, what's happened to me? What's wrong with
Mm,
me? You know what I mean? I think people, once again, that stigma, like you're going to be judged. I'm glad I did the work. I'm glad I got the help, and I'm in such a great space and place in my life. I think sometimes we have
mhm,
to ask people instead of what's wrong with them, what happened? Because
Mhm,
based on things
mm,
that happen in life,
mhm.
is why that you can have a mental episode.
Yes. Yes.
mhm.
Yes.
Did you tell anybody,
Oh, yes,
Danielle,
my
that
family
you were
knew.
going through it?
Yes, my
Okay.
family knew.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
And how were they? Were they supportive
They
about it,
actually
or
were
were
very
they?
supportive.
Yeah.
They were very supportive. Mental
Mhm,
health actually runs in my family. Didn't know, that my mother and father had suffered from mental health issues. So think about that if you have people in your family that might suffer. Not saying that it will happen, but just a little research, just be mindful of that.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
it's a part of knowing your family history and family origin
Absolutely.
to see what's going on. But one of the things I wanted to kind of piggyback on that you said that is so key is that you talked about the fact of it's okay to acknowledge it, but sometimes people, because of the stigma associated with it, and people will ask questions. And one of the things that I remember and I recall hearing the importance of asking questions with a level of sensitivity.
Mhm.
Instead of asking a person what's wrong with you,
Mhm.
it's so important to ask them what happened to you.
Absolutely.
And you brought that out, and I just so appreciate that.
Yeah.
For those that are listening, if you ever, even Danielle's sharing, because we're celebrating Mental Health Awareness Month, but something that she shares, if you have a family member, someone that you love, take note of that she shared. Is so important, because we'll look at a behavior and it's so easy to ask that question. But
Yes.
the question we should be asking is, what happened to you, with
Absolutely.
sensitivity and compassion. Thank you for bringing that
Oh,
out.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you now um how do you now deal with your mental health? What do you do? Is it a practice, or do
I
you
make
still see
sure.
someone?
No, I don't see anybody right now. I just use the practices. I do breathing and meditation, make sure to get
Mm,
some exercise, make sure of the things I tell myself. Negative self-talk. You have to change that negative thinking. You have to speak words of life into yourself. And if
Yes.
I feel like
mm,
I'm leaning to a bad place, I try, to ask myself what's going on at that moment that I feel like I could possibly be in a bad space.
Mhm, mhm.
yeah, I hear what you're saying. Well, maybe this is a good time to move to the unmasked question, Cheryl. What do you think?
Well, we have one other question I wanna ask.
Oh,
One other question
yes.
is, who, Danielle, do you think needs to know it's okay not to be okay?
Mm.
Everybody. And mainly
Yeah.
us as women, because we carry so much. We're like the Energizer bunny. We keep going and going and going until
Yes.
something happens, and then we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
True.
urge everybody to pay attention now. We've just gone through a pandemic. Our stress levels are through the roof.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
just be
Mhm.
mindful of your mental health. Take care of yourself. Go to the doctor. Get some exercise. Meditate.
Mm.
Do whatever you
Mhm.
need to do to make yourself okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Danielle, thinking about what you just said, I'm looking at some of the comments. Someone wrote that we as women are the frontline person in so many areas in our lives. And that speaks to your saying, take time to be present with what's going on with you. And then
Absolutely.
our producer said, taking care of your mental state is important. Too many people, especially Black people, push it aside because we're always taught to work through the issues. Just
Mhm.
pray about it and it's going to be okay. And
Right.
what happens is, you're saying, you said earlier, we were listening, that it's okay to carry a Bible and see a therapist. So if,
Mm.
Absolutely.
if you find yourself in a place where Danielle is telling to us, make sure that we take the necessary action steps to care for our mental health. And then someone else says, we're told that we're the backbone of the families. We can't break down.
Wow.
Mm. Mhm.
Oh,
Wow. Well, we actually can. So that's why we have to do the work so we don't get to that place. So
yes.
that's why we have to work on our mental health so we don't get to those spaces where we're having breakdowns, and because we are the backbone of the family, but we have to do the work in caring for ourselves. It's very key and critical that we take care of ourselves, mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have an unmasked question. Pam, you want to ask our unmasked question?
This unmasked question is for our listeners to chime in, as well as Danielle. And I think you already touched on this, but we'll go a little deeper. The unmasked question is, why do you think mental health isn't taken seriously? So we definitely want to get your opinion about that, Danielle. But we also want our Facebook listeners and YouTube listeners to share, why do you think mental health isn't taken seriously? Okay. Danielle, you want to kick it off while we wait
Sure.
for others to
I
comment?
I think people are afraid. I think
Mm,
it's so much, once again, I'll say the word stigma behind getting help. But it's okay to get help. If you were diabetic, you would go get your diabetic medication. If you were a cancer patient, you will go get the treatment. So why, if you're having mental health struggles, won't you see a clinician and get the
mhm.
help that you need?
Yes.
Mm,
Powerful.
yeah, I think you're right. Fear keeps us from going to get the help that we need. The stigma keeps us from going to get the help that we need. Not wanting to feel different keeps us
Mhm.
from going to get the help that we need. Embarrassment even keeps us from going to get the help that we need. And
Mhm.
I think that that is debilitating. I know for myself when I had my breakdown in
Mhm.
front of my four kids, bathroom floor, I felt so ashamed
Mhm.
that what is wrong with me? But I'm glad I did because that was my turning point, actually,
Mhm.
Danielle, to get some help. And
Yeah.
I still didn't do it immediately. I
Uh-huh.
didn't go get help immediately. It took me a
Right.
little bit of time. But when I did finally see a therapist, she opened my eyes to how normal I really was that I was struggling. you know?
Yes.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So someone says ashamed of what people will think of you. That is real.
And that is real, but I'll challenge you to not be ashamed because you matter and it's important to take care of you.
Yes.
I
Mm,
would say if you have a trusted friend, get somebody that could walk their walk with you. You don't have to do that alone. People
mhm.
will be waiting and willing to help you.
Yes. And
Yeah.
there's another comment that someone put in here, and I want to share it. It says, we don't take it seriously because we are just now having serious conversations about it. If we talked about it more, being mentally healthy, it wouldn't seem such a taboo. And that's
Mhm.
powerful. But like we're talking about stuff, but we're not talking about some things we really need to talk about, such as our mental health. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's a topic that we need to talk more about. As this is Mental Health Awareness Month, I challenge everybody to check on your friends, especially those
Mhm.
one that seem especially strong. Check
Yeah,
on them and make
Mm.
sure that they're okay.
yeah, yeah,
And remember, it's
Right.
okay not to be okay.
yeah, yeah. You know,
And maybe that's something we should say to them too. I wish
Yes,
somebody had told me it's okay. I mean, before I had my breakdown, I'm saying,
right.
I wish someone had said to me, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay that you're not perfect. Your life looks all rosy,
Yes,
but it's okay that you're struggling and suffering inside.
yes, yes.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like have that conversation,
Have
and
the conversation.
sometimes people, because we talked about it, and as I'm listening to you share, Danielle, I'm thinking about previous conversations that we've had, and we talked about this very thing because sometimes people tend to look at the appearance and what
Yes.
seems to look a certain way, not realizing that person is struggling. And
Hmm.
you said check on your friends. Don't It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter that
Absolutely.
we might look like Sunday best
Absolutely.
from the head to the foot and be jacked up on the inside and
Mhm.
afraid. You miss that because some of us are very intuitive. And if
Yeah.
you pick up something, reach out to that person because you never know. And
Yeah.
we look at people who have committed suicide. There are people like, oh my gosh, I never knew. And
Right.
there's signs, but they didn't pay attention to the signs because they didn't know what they were.
Yes.
They didn't know what
Yes.
they were.
Hmm.
So, as we kind of we can keep this conversation going, but as we wrap it up, we want you to take a few moments to share your three takeaways to help you or those in our audience becoming impacted by their mental health. So, what would you like to share as three takeaways?
Number one, I would say breathe.
Mm.
I challenge you to, take a deep breath in, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, breathe out, 4 or 5 times, a couple times a day. And as well as meditation, I think that's a key. If you can, do mindfulness for about 5 minutes, that will be helpful.
Mm.
Okay. What's the second one? We want to give them your second one?
The second one is seek help.
Mhm.
Get talk to your primary care doctor. They can direct you. You can call the number on the back of your card for mental health help. You can Google it. I'm sure they have a 1-800 number that can help you, but seek help. It's very
Mm.
key to get the help that you need to be better.
Yes, yes, yes. And the third one that you provided.
The third one is love yourself. Positive
Oh.
affirmations. Speak love. Speak words of encouragement. I love me. I'm phenomenal. I'm beautiful. I matter. And remember that,
Mhm.
ladies, because we do. And
Yeah.
it's key to love yourself.
Wow.
Mm. That's good. Those are so simple, and I love that. They're so simple, and they really are easy to do. And if we do them, we will feel so much better. And that's what we want. We want to feel better. We want
Yeah.
to look better, and we want to live better.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. I think we should probably move into the raffle now.
Yes.
The raffle winner gets a $25 gift card. So let's get it started.
Yes.
Turn it over to you, Kayla. Uh-oh, where's our music? We make up our music, Cheryl. Da da
Oh, here,
da da da
it's
da
like,
da da. Oh,
I love our music.
oh
Yay!
yay! Yay!
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Congratulations,
everyone.
Sharon.
Yes.
Okay, so Sharon, what we need from you is to put into our group message or private message to Cheryl and me in our Facebook group your email address because I think we're going to send this via as an electronic thing and make it easier for you to use. Okay,
Absolutely.
that is great. Yay! All right,
Yes.
so we want to wrap this up now. Danielle,
Mhm.
thank you so much
Thank you.
Thank
for
Yes.
you for having
sharing
me, ladies.
your truth.
Yes. 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 We're so
We
glad.
so appreciate it.
I
So
appreciate
we're going
both
to
of you.
wrap. Yes, this has been wonderful. Great takeaways as well. So we, ladies who are watching, and remember the challenge for this week: devote 5 minutes. It's only
Mhm,
5 minutes each morning to your mental health.
mhm.
And Danielle gave great takeaways. So even if you want to breathe for deep breathing for 5 minutes, love yourself. Um,
And seek help.
and seek help. Yes, we definitely want you to tell us what
Absolutely.
that is. Share it in the group chat every day for 7 days, starting tomorrow, and tell us how it felt for you to do that particular exercise or how whatever you chose.
Mhm.
Next week we will unmask another topic, but we want you to share with us what topic you want to hear about. You can put it in the chat where we are right now, or you can put it in our group and let us know. I want to talk about this topic. I want to talk about that topic. And I think once a month, we're going to have a special guest come back on the show. In fact, Danielle, would you like to come back at another time as well and share a topic? We might even want to redo this topic because it's so important.
Absolutely. I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
definitely. I will be honored, ladies. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that is about all we have time for today. Cheryl, do you want to say any final words before we close it out?
Again, Danielle, thank you just for being so transparent and just
Mhm.
talking about such a very needed conversation. And I would say to our viewers, the knowledge that has been shared on today, if it applies to you, make it applicable. But if there's somebody that you know and love and care for that you know could benefit from the information, please share it. Again,
Yeah.
we look forward to seeing you all on next week. And please share it and remind people that if you invite them to join our group, make sure that they answer the 3 questions so that they can become members of this group. Again, thank you, and we'll see you next week.
See
Thank
you next week.
you. See you, ladies.
All right,
Bye.
see